Hey, what's going on, people? This is Earl Tenchi, and I am back with another TMNT Rant Rave review for this week's episode entitled Slash and Destroy. So it starts out with the Turtles, just chilling, playing video games, and Raphael is getting pissed off at Mikey for messing up his stuff, for messing up his vintage magazines. And at this point, Leonardo's like, those are only, material possessions, don't worry about it. And he responds with, what if it was Mikey's precious comic book collection? Now I gotta sympathize with him at this point, because if it's something that you've been collecting for a while, and the next thing you know, someone messes it up without any regard of what it means to you, I can understand why Raphael reacted the way he did. But this is typical Raphael fashion, you know what I mean? He's always he's always been the hothead, the lovable hothead, but still the hothead, and he vents to his pet turtle, Spike. Now, I always found this kind of funny and weird that a turtle humanoid has a regular turtle as a pet. You know what I'm saying? But the story centers around Spike, because at one point, while Donatello's trying to mix up a retro mutagen, he ends up creating these firework type explosions that end up ping-ponging all around the lair, and they almost hit Spike. He gets saved by Raphael. Raphael throws a tangent. Next thing you know, he takes one of the mutagen canisters, which happens to be the last one there, and tells Donatello, until you get your stuff straightened out, I'm keeping this canister. Right? Then he gets summoned to the dojo to clean up and everything, and he's thinking it's not fair. So he's arguing with Master Splinter. Why do I have to clean up when Donatello's the one that caused the mess in the first place? Slams the door behind him. The mutagen ends up rolling off of off of his drum set where he put it, and it shatters. At this point, I guess you already guessed it. Spike jumps into the mutagen, mutates into this behemoth of a turtle, who we now know as Slash. Slash, voiced by Corey Feldman, who is a turtle veteran. He was the original Donatello in Ninja Turtles 1 and in Ninja Turtles 3. The two films. So it was cool that they brought him back. So he's playing a turtle again, but this one's got a vendetta against the rest of the turtles, well, except for Raphael. He's got a kind of raspy, menacing voice. He's Diesel. He's got spikes on the back of his shell, jagged, sharp nails, and he's got ninja skills. He's been watching Raphael the entire time for the past few years, so he knows all his moves. Now, when Raphael finds this out, he's like, "Oh man, how did this happen?" And then Spike, aka Slash, is like, "Your brother's never appreciated you, not like me," and he's basically being the devil on his shoulder, saying that you should go out and do your own thing. We can help fight, we can help each other fight evil and go out there and sniff out the rest of the canisters. Now, another thing that was kind of cool, Slash has the power to sniff out mutagen. He can literally sniff it with his nose. He can pick up the scent and figure out where it is from miles away. So I'm like, where did that come from? That's a nifty little little ability right there. He doesn't really get to use it to its full extent though, because they're all looking for this one can of mutagen, which, funny enough, ends up in the hands of a pizza delivery guy, and he's thinking it's an energy drink. Then it ends up in the hands of a pawn shop owner, who fashions it into a lamp, and makes it look like a lamp by putting a lampshade and stuff on top of it. Sells it to a father and his little girl, and that little girl blackmails Leo to get it back. And it's fun. That's the lighter side of this episode. The rest of this episode was dark, because you know, like I said, Slash has got a vendetta against the rest of the Turtles. The only one except for Leo is you know, pretty much gets beat up by him. And when I say beat up, I don't mean just, you know, just like the Foot Clan would beat them up. I'm talking back to the hand, chopped, freaking hit, you know, freaking hit on walls and dragged, and to the point where it's like, you know, alright, if you ever seen a old school movie or an anime where there's a lot, you know, where there's a lot of fighting, and someone challenges someone to a fight in their dojo, you know, they bet their sign. The dojo bets their sign. If they lose, then the opponent takes the sign. So he's kind of taking that to an extreme. He's beaten he beat Donatello and Michelangelo to a pulp, right? You know, and took their headbands, and you see them wrapped around his arm. I'm like, okay, he ain't playing around. He's had this stored up aggression, this stored up anger for years, and it really shows. So the rest of the show is you know, basically Raphael realizing that his loyalties has always been to his brothers. That's one thing he's always been loyal, always. So, you know, that little temptation of him wanting to do things and go out on his own, and, you know, and just, you know, rushing out and doing stuff on his own, that's not important. He's got his brothers to think of. His brothers come first, and Slash, you know, he doesn't want to fight him, but at the same time he doesn't want to hear that, you know. And now they got a new enemy. I'm not gonna tell you what else happens, because the end of that fight is just, it's short, but it's awesome. So check it out. I don't even know what I would give this episode if I were to rate it, because this was a really dark episode. I'd probably give it like a 8.5, really, because the acting was great. The little blackmailing with the little girl was unexpected. It was very straight and to the point. There wasn't really a subplot in this one, so it was very straight and to the point and very dark. So what do y'all think about this episode? What do you think about Slash and Corey Feldman voicing him? Do you think he did a good job? Let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, love, and never be normal.